They're an agency for talent, and since a lot of VTuber stuff is based or was initially based off of Japan, you know, obviously animes from Japan, mangas from Japan, you know, there's a big culture of that stuff over there. They have something called idol culture. Idols are usually female young girls who sing and, you know, have other talents. There's like a fan base, and that's essentially the idol culture. And the way that it works over there is that when you're an idol, you're essentially signing up. When you're starting out, you would sign up with an agency. And the agency is going to take care of certain things for you. Like they're going to take care of marketing. They're going to take care of paperwork. They're going to take care of like setting up like appointments with venues and stuff like that if you're going to be performing at certain places, merchandise sales, all of that stuff. So they handle a lot of stuff. So what the creator gets is that the creator doesn't have to deal with all of the stuff that's completely outside of their expertise. If all you know how to do is, you know, sing really well, you probably don't know a lot about, you know, budgets and marketing and all this and that. And so it can be seen as a big benefit. The problem is that these companies, surprise, surprise, what they mean in many ways by taking care of you often means fucking you in the ass. So these companies will have you sign a contract, and the contract is going to take away a lot of your freedom. It's going to make it so that you can't talk about a lot of stuff. You can't express yourself in certain ways. You can't just partner up with whoever you want. And it places a lot of limitations. It also, obviously, they take a big cut of the money that you make. They claim, and this is a big one, they claim ownership of everything that you make. They can claim ownership of the IP. So for example, if you make like even if you make like a VTuber avatar and you've drawn it, you designed it, you've written what the character is going to be like and everything. The moment that you sign a contract with these agencies, they will take control, and now it's theirs, and now they can do whatever they want, and they have it for life, and you don't. So you're essentially selling your soul. It's very much like a classical record company. When you sign up to make a record with a company like this, you are basically selling away all your rights in many ways, the rights to your work. But these companies are then going to take care of a lot of stuff. There's a benefit to it, but there's obviously a big downside. And these agencies have been under a lot of hot fire recently because a lot of VTubers have been leaving. There's been a lot of drama. And this one seems to be particularly imploding badly. This one called Vshojo. So let's find out what's going on here. This is a video by Moist Critical, and let's see what he has to say about this.
There's a topic I cover from time to time that always seems to ruffle some feathers and get people squirming in their chairs in anger, because I have less than kind things to say about some of the biggest players in the industry. But I just can't help myself. I can't bite my tongue on it. I'm like Winnie the Pooh poking a beehive because I'm addicted to the honey inside. And in this case, that honey is vindication. For a while now, I have bah-humbugged VTuber agencies. I've seen a lot of the contracts that some of the top talent were locked into with these organizations, and they are extraordinarily corrupt. I think the agencies in this space are exploitative, and they treat their talent more like prisoners.
Yeah. Like I said, you sell essentially everything to them. Your time, you're a big part of the money that you make. Your character, the character that you design or you create, if you have created a character, all signed away to them. They take complete ownership of everything.
It's unbelievable the depths of greed that these agencies in the VTuber space have succumbed to. But before I dive deeper into the spaghetti and the meatballs on my disdain for VTuber agencies in the industry, I would like to give you the catalyst for why I'm talking about it again today. It's because Ironmouse just made a really sad video about why she's leaving Vshojo. Vshojo being another huge player in the VTuber space. They are a massive agency that's represented some of the top talent.
And Ironmouse is huge.
I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by Vshojo. With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from Vshojo.
For those that don't know who
my
Ironmouse is,
God.
she is one of
I knew
the
that's where it
biggest
was going.
streamers on Twitch in terms of
Yeah, she's
subscribers.
huge.
She even broke the all-time subscriber record.
Yeah.
And she has a primary immunodeficiency disease. She has
So
CVID.
she can't leave the house and stuff like that.
So she does a lot of charitable work for this organization, and apparently she's just discovered
So
immunodeficiency disease. She has CVID. So she
yeah, and that makes it so basically somebody who has an immunodeficiency disease, your immune system doesn't work very good. And you know what your immune system is? It's the military of your body. It's the police and military combined, right? And when it sees, oh, there's a virus coming in, there's COVID or something coming in, you see like the bacteria and the viruses coming in, your immune system spots them and then kills them. Right? So it can keep you safe. And that's how it works in normal people. And sometimes the viruses, they get out of control, or sometimes they're not spotted fast enough, and then they start causing a full-blown invasion, right? And that's when you're full-blown sick with the flu or something like that, and you feel like shit. But then your body resolves it. If you're healthy, it takes care of it, and then your body just wipes them all out. So it's a very good thing to have a well-functioning immune system. When you have an immunodeficiency disorder like this, basically your immune system is just not working. It's not working good. It's not taking care of the problem. You know, you get sick very easily. Whenever you do get sick, you can get sick very badly from even light things. So sometimes you guys ever you guys remember like the movie Bubble Boy? The kid essentially had something like this, and he needed to be in a bubble because his body couldn't handle being outside. You know, if you go outside, there's a trillion germs, right? And you're going to get sick with something eventually. And if you have a condition like this, that could kill you. So he was in a bubble, and that's how he lived his life. And everywhere he went to class and all this and that. He was always in that bubble, right? And it caused a bunch of problems. That's basically the movie. Unfortunately for Ironmouse, I don't think that she has a bubble. I don't think she can leave like that. And so she has to essentially be at her house, and she has to be receiving treatment all the time. And it's a very tough life. It really is. So the reason why she does VTubing is because she wanted to be able to do a job where she could be productive and she could contribute to society, right? In a way that she could, because she's not like she could get a job. It's not like she could go out there. And it's a beautiful thing to watch her essentially succeed and become one of the biggest VTubers, because it's a very humble story. This is a girl that has gone through a lot. And is going through a lot. And frankly, it's a bunch of bullshit what these companies are doing. They're taking advantage of people like this, sick people like this, that they're not giving money to the charity whose entire purpose is to help people like this. Like, this is, I don't like making moral arguments, but my God, this is fucking terrible. These people are fucking awful. Like, this is one of the worst sides of, I hate to say it, capitalism. And I love capitalism, but you know, it is what it is. So let's hope she can get this resolved.
She does a lot of charitable work for this organization, and apparently she's just discovered that Vshojo hasn't fully paid what they owed her personally, and they haven't paid the money that they owe to the charitable foundation that she was fundraising for.
Man.
Something that she does often, but Vshojo is required in this process because they handle her money in certain cases, which is not uncommon in the space.
That's a common thing.
I'm going to get deeper into like a lot of things with VTuber agencies that I've tiptoed around quite a bit in the past, but I don't want to like fully go into the weeds of it here. But let me just go ahead and explain where that number's coming from, the $500,000 owed to charity that Vshojo still hasn't paid.
They promptly sent the payment, and the subathon was a huge success. So I decided to do it again the next year. My last subathon was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming, and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers.
Holy shit.
And breaking the all-time sub record. But this also meant that we had raised $515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
Holy shit.
I once again asked Vshojo to make the donation on my behalf, but unfortunately, still a year later, Vshojo has not paid the charity.
So in a nutshell, Ironmouse ran a subathon. It was extremely successful and raised a ton of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. And Vshojo did pay it out the first time around, but when she came back for the second time the following year, it was even bigger, it broke records, and it raised over $500,000 that were supposed to go to the Immune Deficiency Foundation that has still not been paid out to the charitable organization to this day, according to Ironmouse.
What a fucking...
Now,
what a shit
I've
show.
seen a little bit of confusion, people wondering why would Vshojo even be handling that money in the first place? Why wouldn't it just come directly from Ironmouse since it's her Twitch? Well, that's where you get into the really stinky territory where, in a lot of cases, these agencies, they handle the finances of the talent. Like, they put their grubby paws on it before the talent does.
They basically
so it's not
handle everything.
Uncommon in the space for the agreement between talent
Except
and
for the
agency
actual
to
performance
have
of the
the
talent.
agency directly handle like their Twitch subs and their Twitch revenue and their Twitch ads, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it all goes through them first.
And in the full video, Ironmouse goes deeper into this, so I highly encourage you to check out the full thing for the entire scoop. But in her case specifically, that was actually kind of appealing to her because then she would be able to stay even more private because she really values her anonymity.
Yeah.
So having Vshojo involved in that process was actually kind of a big deal to her. And for previous fundraising through Tiltify, it wasn't a problem, but when it came to the subathon money, since it was going through Twitch subs and everything, it meant Vshojo was going to be involved in this process. And the first time it was fine. It apparently went off without issue. But this time, when the money was even higher, well, some kind of screws must have went loose over there at the Vshojo headquarters. I guess that shit just fucking burst into flames or something, and they just haven't got around to it. They're still putting out some fires, and they'll get to it any day now.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too much cash. Just a little bit too much of a... I mean, $500,000? I mean, come on, guys. Are we going to really give that away to charity? I mean, come on. I mean, it's $500,000. Like, surely there's some loophole or something we can use so we can keep that cash.
Vshojo would be responsible for donating that money on her behalf, an obligation that they still haven't fulfilled all this time later, according to Ironmouse. It's diabolical, withholding over $500,000 to charity, and also withholding money that Ironmouse is allegedly owed as well. And what's even crazier is how unsurprised I am by it. Now, full disclosure, I didn't know too much about Vshojo's inner workings. That was one of the few agencies I wasn't super privy to on like the behind the scenes of, but I'd always heard good
You know, this is one of those things, is like history repeats itself. Like, this is just the issues with record companies. Like, this was the whole record company versus the artist thing all over again. Same shit from like the freaking 60s replaying out now. It just keeps happening. And I bet you that if you go back through time, I bet you're going to see many similar cases where you have some sort of merchant who's like, hey, I'll handle all the paperwork and, you know, marketing and all this and that. And you just get on the stage and you just start singing and we'll take care of everything, right? But behind closed doors, that merchant or company or whatever is just seeing the money pile up, and it's just like, hey, well, maybe we're going to keep a little bit more. Maybe we're going to change the terms of the agreement, or maybe we'll do this or that. If you're enjoying this video and you like to see bigger and better content, the only thing you need to do is hit subscribe and like, and I'll take care of the rest. I bet you that this has been happening before you could even imagine. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if you could go back to like Mesopotamia, like way back in like the first civilization, and see somebody pulling this shit somehow. It's like, oh yeah, you're a really good singer. You know, I'm a merchant. I got a lot of money. I could promote you. And then pulling this type of shit.
things, but I always had skepticism because of how the industry functions at the agency level from the other ones I know. And this kind of dirty, scummy, greedy business is just so standard for these agencies in the space. It is sickening.
Yeah.
Now, Vshojo is going
They're
through
obsessed
big
with
turbulence
ownership.
right now. They're losing some of their top talent. Like, even before Ironmouse's video, about a month ago, they made a post about how Giga was going to be departing Vshojo.
So Vshojo made this. This is on Twitter. Dear community members, we would like to share that Giga will be parting ways with Vshojo as of June 27, 2025. Giga has been an incredible member of Vshojo since she joined in 2023. Her humor and collaborative spark have shaped Vshojo's culture, and we're excited to keep cheering her on in this next chapter. The impact that she has had on Vshojo will not be forgotten on stream and behind the scenes. So, so actually this is really good here. So it says, and I'm glad they point this out, Giga will keep her IP. So her intellectual property, probably like the whole Giga branding and all of that. Giga was going to keep it, and we wish her the best on this journey moving forward. That's actually crazy that they let her do that. Maybe Giga like had like a really good contract or something. Or maybe Vshojo's different. I don't know. Any merch on the website will still be available for purchase until June 27th. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. That is such a Japanese thing to say. Thank you for your understanding. Yeah. Sincerely, Vshojo team. Yeah. 1.9 million views, 25,000 likes. Yeah, I'm actually surprised they let her keep the IP.
And then just 48 hours later, they announced Zen would also be leaving Vshojo.
Wait, so is Zen going to keep her? Yeah, it says it right there. Zen will keep her IP, and we wish her the best on the next leg of her journey. That's awesome.
One of their original members. So there's definitely been some, curious Georges out there wondering what's going on at Vshojo that's got everyone leaving. What's this exodus from Vshojo all about? Fun fact, Giga is actually
similar
with us at Cheeky now. We're not like a VTuber agency. That's not what I'm trying to get across. Our soap. She really likes our soap, Cheeky soap. So she's partnered with us at Cheeky, and she's an absolute sweetheart. That's what I was trying to get across.
Yes.
The point is, some like really
soap.
Good people have been leaving Vshojo, and now Ironmouse have dropped this video about some very alleged scummy practices here at the Vshojo corporate level, and I don't know how Vshojo recovers from it going forward. They haven't made a statement yet. It's still a little too fresh as of me making this video. I'm very curious what they're going to say about it.
This is going to involve a lawsuit.
I would imagine that their next play will be donating that money to the charitable foundation. I imagine they donate the $515K to the Immune Deficiency Foundation or whatever the exact number was. I bet they'll do that to desperately try and save face. I don't think the community will respond well to it because it's very clear that they're just doing it now because of the public pressure that's being exerted on them. I don't know how they move forward with a good reputation. I don't think all of their talent's going to leave overnight. I imagine a lot of those contracts, in fact, I'm confident a lot of those contracts lock them down for quite a while with like some non-disparagement clauses in there and everything. Like I bet there is a lot of things at play where the talent won't be able to leave even if they really want to. And I can only hope that the community here doesn't start attacking the Vshojo talent for staying, because
I mean, I hope so too, but it's the internet, man. It's going to happen. Somebody's going to be talking shit.
I imagine in a lot of cases they don't have a choice. Now, that's kind of the situation in a nutshell, but I want to dive deeper into agencies as a whole. I've kind of teased it a little bit throughout the video. And I know people like to talk about VTubing as a whole, like it's some kind of niche that's not mainstream. That couldn't be further from the truth. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it is so lucrative. And these agencies have swooped in and made sure they are the ones getting the lion's share of that money, and they'll kind of trickle down, drip feed a little milk from their titties to the talent that's under their umbrella. And what's even more disgusting is they fed people shit and gave them a taste for it, an acquired palate, normalizing their...
I mean, look at Twitch. Like, Twitch takes... So how much is it? Like, the reason that people like Kick is because Kick takes 5%. So like if you're somebody who's like, I don't know, you're donating $1 or whatever to your favorite streamer on Kick, that streamer is going to get 95 cents out of that whole dollar. If you're donating $100, that streamer is going to get $95 out of those $100. And Kick is only going to get $5. And the reason Kick says that they take those $5, that 5%, is because they got to pay the payment processing fee. Because I don't know if you know, but this is going to lead into probably our next video. Visa and MasterCard, they charge you for payment processing. You're going to be paying money. They make money off of that. So it's not free. Like if you get one of those devices, or if you're like hooked up on, on the internet or whatever to take Visa MasterCards, Visa is going to be charging you money every time that somebody swipes or pays with a Visa card. And so they're taking 5% to cover those expenses. That's basically it. My understanding is that Kick doesn't even make a profit on subscriptions or anything like that. And that's very consumer. I mean, I'm sorry, that's very creator and consumer. That's very creator friendly, because if you think about it, whenever somebody's donating money or somebody's giving a sub or whatever to Ironmouse, they probably want to really give the money to Ironmouse. They don't probably want to give it to like Twitch or Dan Clancy or whatever. They want that money to go to Ironmouse, right? That's what it's really about. On Kick, the vast majority of that money will go to, whoever the streamer is. But Twitch takes 50 fucking percent, not 5%, 50%. That's right. 50 freaking percent. So if you donate $100 to Ironmouse is only going to get $50 and Twitch is going to get the other 50. And I'm sure Twitch is very happy with that arrangement. Look, Twitch hasn't made money. Apparently Twitch has never been profitable. I'm not sure exactly how they're using their money, if they're reinvesting it, if they're trying to grow or whatever. There could be various reasons for this. But the point is that you give $100 on Twitch, the streamer's only going to get 50. You give $100 on Kick, the streamer's going to get 95. That's huge. That's freaking huge. And that's the difference between something that is very much trying to get creators to, to court creators, to make it more creator friendly, and somebody who's just kind of resting, an entity like Twitch that is resting on their laurels.
Agreed. Where the talent, the ones that are actually gathering the audience, the actual VTubers, they don't see most of the money that they bring in. The agency does. That includes merch. That includes their Twitch subs. That includes YouTube revenue. Pretty much any piece of the pie that has dollars, doubloons in it. The agency is the one that's got their fingers in it, and the VTuber gets pieces of it. Tiddlywinks.
Yeah, a
small
small
I think
fraction.
It is so ass backwards. It has always rubbed me the wrong way. So I've always talked very negatively about VTuber agencies, much to the chagrin of the VTuber audience. The audience that watches VTubers is very loyal to their favorite creators in the space. So they get very upset when the 5'6" Florida man Neanderthal shoots spitballs at the agency that represents their favorite VTuber, because the community, like the relationship between the agency and the VTuber, is one that's supposed to be built on like a tight connection, like this partnership, almost like a family. But nothing could be further from the truth. It's about as much of a family as like the prison warden is to the prisoners. I just think it is completely unacceptable the way a lot of these agencies
I'm sure the
treat
record
their
industry
talent.
was
also
considered
think
a family
a lot
to
of people
many,
have been completely
many an
misled
artist
by them
in the
on the
past.
industry as a whole, where they act like there's only one path to success when it comes to VTubing. Or at least they did, not so much these days. It's starting to kind of get a little more clear that you don't have to sign with them. But for the longest time, it was as if there was only one path to success in the space, which was signing with an agency, where they basically give you a career. They grow you through their network. Mm-hmm. They give you all the tools to grow, but they basically own
expertise.
You. And I know the argument a lot of people make is, well, they gave you your career. You do owe them like 90% of the money that you generate. That makes sense. Without 90? Them, you were nothing.
I don't know if it's
And
90,
I just think that is completely delusional.
Huge.
I think you've been brainwashed to think that. It's a little different nowadays where so many people are doing really well independent. There are so many independent VTubers that are crushing it, and a lot of formally contracted talent for agencies have left to be indie and are still doing really well. So it's being proven that you don't need these agencies to succeed as a VTuber. And I understand, like, they do help speed up the growth of the career, because then they just plug and play to like their network and just have eyes on you by default.
I can't believe that this company let them keep their IPs though. I'm actually very surprised. They let the both of those in the Twitter image that we were reading earlier. They let both of those VTubers keep their VTuber, right? Persona and all of that. And even like apparently rights to merchandise and stuff like that. So that's kind of crazy, man. Like, I'm actually like, we're shitting on them for being greedy, but that's one aspect that is not, you'd expect them to keep the IP. That's strange.
But from everything I've seen, it just never really seems worth the trade-off. Like, you never get a better deal. So like, let's say you start with them and then you explode and become the biggest VTuber in the world. all the ones I've seen, the contracts don't scale with that success, so you still are locked into a bad deal.
Yeah.
And now the agency just makes a killing off of your success, and you kind
they
of
just milk you
stay in
harder.
the same spot, more or less. Like, it just doesn't ever really feel worth it to do that when you can still be very successful without these agencies. And it just sucks to see that it is still so common that these agencies are greedy scumbags, like in this case here with Vshojo, apparently. But anyway, I just wanted to yap about this a bit. That's about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good video by Moist. And he's absolutely fucking right about this. Like, these companies are fucking despicable. But again, I wonder why they let them keep their IP. Could it be something exclusive? Like maybe that was part of the original deal. Maybe they were too big. Maybe they were just trying to save face with PR, right? Maybe it's like, oh, this is good PR if we just let them keep the IP. I don't know what the hell it is, but giving away, like the IP is one of the most important things to keep as a company. Like it's huge. Like there's companies out there like EA with Alice the Madness Returns. I think it was Alice the Madness Returns. They didn't want the creator, American McGee, to make a third Alice because they're like, we don't want to fund it. We don't think it's going to make money. So then American McGee is like, okay, well, just let me have the, I'll buy the IP from you. And then EA's like, we don't want to sell the IP. We're not doing anything with the IP, but we don't want to sell the IP. And one of the reasons why, this is something, I believe this was from Jeff Gersman, who said he used to work at a big company like this and he had ownership and stuff like that. And he was told, like he asked, he's like, to the executive team, he's like, why is it that companies do this where they don't want to sell IPs that they're not even using? They don't care about IPs that are they're not valuable. Why do they want to hoard them? And he was told that basically companies are afraid that if somebody or another company buys an IP that is basically trash tier at this point in time, not valuable, that company who bought it is now going to make just something so successful that's going to make the company who sold the IP look like retards. And so they're afraid to see you win. They're afraid that they're going to sell you garbage and you're going to turn that garbage into gold and it's going to make them look bad. That's fucking crazy, man. But that's how these companies are. Too long to read. Stealing is bad. Stealing from chronic disease victims is even worse. These people don't give a fuck, dude. I mean, it's bad, but they don't give a fuck. The only thing that matters to them is the bottom line. If they're losing money over this, then yeah, they're like, oh yeah, that was a bad move. But if they're not losing money over this, then they're just like, we don't give a fuck. They just keep doing it. But I bet you they are losing money. I hate that this isn't even hyperbole. $1 million company took advantage of a disabled woman by lying to her, stealing from her, and even withholding money from the charity that saved her life. This is fucking vile. Yeah, dude, and it's a story as old as time. This is some old ass shit, man. Like, this is some like fucking robber baron shit. Remember when Vshojo plastered Ironmouse all over Tokyo to promote how well they treat their talents? Vshojo doesn't. Checking all of the evil villain corporate shell boxes. Take advantage of sickly girl, lie and deny the charity work, take zero accountability. Just another Monday, I guess. Pretty much. The fact that Ironmouse faced so much hate for her subathon when she was raising money for charity, so much she was bullied off of platforms like TikTok. All of that money she was trying to raise, it isn't even going to go to the place she wanted. What a diabolical betrayal. Yeah, and this is another one. Niji Sanji was another one that got in trouble. This is another controversial VTuber agency. Almost cost their talents to end themselves. Vshojo stole $500K from a charity that saved their streamer's life.
Subscribe and like!